All right, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom right position as our pink Zerg player coming in for Evil Geniuses, it is Stephano. And spawning in the top left position with a sad face as our red Terran player from Empire Gaming, it is Kas. And apparently a little bit of a chat here. He's apparently he doesn't refer to him by his nickname anymore. Stephano is most apologetic given the circumstances, and Kas is forever his feelings have been hurt. But perhaps not as much as he'd like to hurt him this game. It's TvZ, asdfasdfds. This should be a really great series, guys. We're starting up group stage number 2 here at the DreamHack Stockholm 2013 Open. And I have to say, for round 1 match, we have a great start here. Kas going to choose to open things up with a barracks. None of that command center first shenanigans. And it looks like he's going to go for a fast gas as well. So, Terran versus Zerg. Well, the story tells itself, really. A lot of Widow Mines, a lot of aggression, and a lot of crazy multitasking to find this matchup in Heart of the Swarm. For the most part, we see tons of aggression from Terran players, either in the early stages of the game or towards the mid-game based on openers. Reapers have found a place against Zerg, and we've also seen the Widow Mine pretty much completely replace the Siege Tank. So I'm really excited to see this. 2 top-class players, Stephano playing in the EGTL Pro League for Evil Geniuses, actually now back in the USA. I guess he's now in Stockholm for the event at least, but back from Korea at least. And Reaper is coming out for Kas now. Barracks is done. Second supply depot up, and a gas opening for Stephano. Doesn't want to take any chances against possible Reaper openings from Kas. The typical openers that we do see from Terran players in the current metagame usually revolve either a very passive command center first opening into 3cc, or we usually see the Reaper opening, which is what Kas is going for this game. Standard follow-ups are going to be either a second Reaper, which he is going to produce, and then a command center, as well as sometimes even a third command center. So let's see just how greedy Kas wants to be, and we do have his first Reaper traversing across the battlefield right now. This map, asdfasdfds, it's pretty damn narrow, but as far as length goes, it can go the distance in late game scenarios, but it also allows for a lot of good sieging opportunities for Terrans to kind of box Zergs in on their expansions due to how narrow it is. But the Reaper jumping in now, taking a couple of pokes from these Zerglings, dishing a couple of pokes while he's at it, and nothing actually really done just yet. The Reaper hasn't been able to deal any damage at all, and the Queens are about to come out. So Stephano will be quite safe against this Reaper pressure. And Kas knows there's gas, so he can anticipate that there will be Zergling speed coming, but he does not look like he's going to be able to get any early drone kills. So a pretty solid opening from Stephano, not going to take any damage at all. Usually, Terran players can at least grab a Zergling or 2, maybe even a drone if they're really top-notch control. But the follow-up for Kas is going to be a third command center, as well as this factory and reactor combo. So typically speaking, a couple of variations that people will do are either building a quick tank and then going into Hellion Marine production, but it does look like he wants to go straight into Hellions. We should see a tech lab on this barracks to begin Stimpack, as well as a second gas very soon from Kas. Most likely going to go into that biostyle. Kas is one of those Terran players that ladders a crazy amount, and one of the most important things you have to be able to do when you're laddering all the time rather than playing custom games is you have to be ready for anything. So Kas is a guy that he relies on good macro and good builds to win. This is a very standard, safe opening in Terran versus Zerg, using the Reaper to get a bit of information as well as doing a bit of poking. And this can keep the Zerg off of you to an extent. And Stephano's going to run a couple of Lings around, possibly try to score a Reaper kill if it's positioned anywhere on the map where it's not very safe or being watched over. But there is a bunker up. We do have Hellions coming out for Kas. He's going to probably move up to about 6. Still no second gas in the main base. Slightly interesting. Tech Lab, though, now on the way for the barracks. Double Evolution Chambers coming up for Stephano. He now has the gas in his natural and is also taking a second gas geyser in his main base. Hellions beginning to traverse. He's looking around with the Reapers, and that's one of the cool things about keeping the Reapers alive is with that health regeneration, they can be a lot more effective later on. But the Zerglings are going to run by for Stephano. There is only a single Marine in this bunker, but should be able to hold it no problem. Rest of the Lynx trying to grab onto Kasa's Hellions. Looks like he's actually able to pick off 2 of them. Getting in here, grabbing an SCV as well. Kas bringing his Hellions back to drive these forces away. And Widowmine production does begin for our Ukrainian Terran player. We have double engineering bay as well, so Stephano's going to be ahead about 30 seconds or so in upgrades. Not terribly significant, but Zergling will get up and scout. Not too much revealing information. Looks very standard. You have to assume, though, Stephano plays so much, such a high-level player. And very anticipating of what could be coming, beginning to spread the creep as well. Stimpack is on the way for Kas. We have additional barracks going up as well. Now taking the gas in the main base and moving these Widow Mines out. So Kas does have a couple of options as to how he can use them, trying to block the creep spread. But he's going to move in with these Hellions and the Reapers, trying to get some damage done here to these Zerglings. Will lose one of his Hellions. The Reapers going down as well. The last one is he's kind of trapped behind the Zerglings there. And Kas is going to be able to kill off all of these Zerglings. He's going to trade out a Hellion and 2 Reapers. Not terrible for all of those Lings, but keeping those units alive and being cost effective with them is most important, because once you lose all of your Hellions, you kind of open up an opportunity for Zergs to go for big counterattacks. And we do see that Baneling Nest now starting for Stephano. He has his lair underway. Hellions continuing to put some forward pressure on here, but Stephano is unabated in his spreading of the creep. And now Kas will scout this 3rd hatchery, about to finish. So with Kas's 3rd command center completed worker-wise, he should be looking just fine. 41 SCVs to 51 drones with 3 mules. His economy is actually pretty even, but these Hellions are in a bit of trouble. He needs to get out of here. Of course, the Zerglings barely move faster than the Hellions, but when you're both moving that fast, it is possible to escape. One of the Hellions looks like it may be caught. He's trying to bring him back towards the Widow Mine. Stephano does bait out 2 of the mines. He might try to run in with the rest of these Lings. He does have a lot of Zerglings, and he's going to run in. There's still one more active mine. Will go off, and there's not too much left here for Kas in terms of holding this. And now the Zerglings are going to run in, pick off the Hellions, trying to get this this bunker, but Stimpack is complete. The Marines inside are stimming. Will get surrounded by these Lings, and a little bit of damage being done here by Stephano. Very, very nice pickup here with this small Ling attack. And behind this, we see he's increased his drone count. He's now at 66, getting a Spire, 2-2 upgrades, and pneumaticized Carapace. That's Overlord speed. One Zergling still wreaking havoc, maybe trying to bait a mine into the mineral line. But 1-1 completing now for Kas. He has his armory, so we should see 2-2 immediately afterwards. Has not yet moved out the 3rd command center. Can be a bit tricky to decide where you want to put it, especially without medevacs. His starport is only now just starting at the 11-minute mark. This is going to make getting cost-effective engagements a bit difficult, considering that every stim will reduce the overall health of his army. And Kas about to move out to 3rd, 4th hatchery on the way for Stephano. It looks like Kas is going to be taking the northeast expansion as his 3rd base. It's a bit more of a conservative play, but it's also a bit more vulnerable to Ling run-bys and counterattacks. And in all honesty, Stephano has shown already in this game he is more than willing to run in and bait out Widowmine attacks and go for lots of damage. In fact, he's managed to kill 11 SCVs in this game so far. 2-2 about halfway done for Stephano. We have Mutalisk production beginning, though, in a macro hatchery. Going to be able to spend all that money as effectively as possible. And the creep spread looking fantastic at 12 minutes, passing the halfway point. Stephano has the watchtowers in the field. He sees pretty much everything. Zerglings running around, baiting out a Widowmine Shatter 2. Does get a nice hit with that one, taking out 5 Lings. But 3rd command center has landed for Kas. And Overlords, he's using that speed to position him around the map to spot for drops. A very, very high-level strategy being employed here by Stephano to be able to see anything coming. In fact, I'm going to show you his map vision right now. Stephano sees most everything on the map except for the bare entrance to Kas's base. So maintaining good map control, but Kas, meanwhile, is macroing up nice and hard, getting up a lot of bio units, quite a few reactors on these barracks, continuing to produce Widow Mines, now adding on a 2nd factory, and also moving into medevac production. So Stephano is going to make a couple of Banelings here. His Baneling speed, I believe, is complete, so he's going to have a reasonable opportunity to get here and do some damage. The mines are positioned in such a way that Stephano can bait them if he can get in close enough, and he actually hasn't managed to trigger any of them yet. He's going to run the Zerglings in, and the mines should be able to clean up a lot of these Lings. The Marines barely touched here, and Stephano will have to retreat, losing all of his Zerglings. The Banelings will not get any connections. Overseer picked off, and Stephano just kind of running around now, continuing to spread the creep. So a good trade there for Kas. He's able to get up his 3rd with no problems at all. Going to begin to take the gas there as well. 2-2 wrapping up for Kas. Now, Stephano does not yet have an infestation pit, so he's locked on his 2-2. This means that when Kas gets his 3-3 roll, rolling if he gets it in time. And great Widow Mines just kind of randomly strewn across the field, being able to pick off one of those Mutalisks, of course, with the rapid regeneration. The rest of these guys are going to heal up pretty quickly, but Koss, like I said, if he gets his 3-3 as soon as the 2-2 is done, he will have a very small window of upgrade advantage since the Infestation Pit has only now just started. It's pure Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk versus Marine, Medevac, Widowmine. No Marauders being mixed into this composition at all. Once Hive Tech comes up for Stephano, that could prove to be a little bit of a problem if he has a very low Marauder count, but goodness gracious, this creep is everywhere. We have Stephano now mining off of his 4th base. No real saturation here yet, though. I guess because of how fast he got it, he still has full saturation on all of his other bases. In total, the drone count is 81, so Stephano doesn't want to invest too much more into economy at this point, as long as he has the bases and can mine the gas for Ultralisks. But the Hive is now starting. We have 3-3 on the way for Koss, and Stephano, he's getting positioned to go for another attack on this 3rd base, baiting out the Widowmine shots, spreading his lings as much as he can. All the Widowmines have been triggered, and Stephano might push in right now, running a bunch of Zerglings into the 3rd base mineral line area. He has Banelings here. This choke point is a little bit tight for him, though. Koss actually hasn't really tried to go for any real drop play whatsoever. Stephano's been able to build up his economy with almost no issues whatsoever. Hasn't really taken any damage. Just want to look at the workers killed. Koss has not killed a single drone this entire game. Stephano basically the one putting on all the aggression, and as I say that, we do have a medevac moving out for Koss, but Stephano, he's got overlords everywhere. He can see this. It's bright as day. Having basically map vision of 70% of the entire field, but it does look like Koss is going to move out now. He has a lot of Widow Mines going to Burrow. The Overseer is here. He's able to pick off a large number of these. The mines get on the army, but he's killing them all with the Banelings, and the Banelings moving in. The Zergling's getting a decent surround. Koss is going to lose the majority of his forces. His push is going to be stopped for now, but he is able to take care of all the Banelings. Drop hitting at bottom base, the right side base at the same time. He is going to be able to pick this hatchery off. Maybe the Mutalisk is going to come in and try to stop this. Marines do pretty damn well against them, though. One Mutalisk is going to fall, but Stephano will be able to defend this base, and now the Marines and the mines are moving towards the fort. Stephano, Ultralisk Cavern on the way, 3-3 as well, but 3-3 is only about 100 seconds away for Koss. This hatchery might go down as well. Stephano, he's going to need to do something about this. He cannot afford to lose additional bases here. He's now actually on even economy for the most part with Koss, and now with the drones beginning to mine out the main base, he needs to transfer these over and basically to secure saturation. He has the map control, map vision he needs, but ooh, these Widow Mines, 17 kills, getting a lot of damage in for Koss, and he still has a couple of these mines strewn across the playing field. And oh goodness, Stephano dipping below in supply. Koss managing to take a lead here in game number 1. We do have continuous mine production. The mine upgrade, the fast burrow has been researched, so he will be able to get these guys burrowed super fast. And Stephano has to be very careful engaging this. The best way to deal with them is to either run a handful of Zerglings in just one at a time, try to set them off, or to basically like use Overlords or Overseers as tanking, but drop headed over towards the right side base for Koss. Stephano immediately there with the Mutalisks to clean that up. These mines are still active on the left side of the field. He can deny mining eventually if Stephano ever does put drones there, but now beginning to saturate this 4th base. He is going to bring some Queens over to use the transfuse. That hatchery was quite low, but 8 Ultralisks about to pop for Stephano, and this is where Koss could run into a bit of trouble. Widow Mines are good versus Ultralisks, but among a full unit composition, if Stephano baits out the mine attacks properly, and he's kept his mine count pretty low, the Ultralisks should just blow the Marines apart. He's going to move in now, though. The Banelings are going to get set off, but they will kill most of the Widow Mines in the process. The Marines, 3-3 is done. These Ultralisks are only 2-2. He does not have chitinous plating yet, but Marines, not the strongest units versus Ultralisks at the same time. He's going to try to drop over towards the left side of the map and take that base out. He may be able to do that. The Zerglings and Mutalisks are going to go over to take care of this. 4 more Ultralisks coming in for Stephano. We have 3-3 getting very close to finishing, and once he does, these Marines are going to be basically shooting darts at these Ultralisks. They're in Heart of the Swarm. Their attack has been changed. At +3 attack, they do 44 flat damage. That's 2 shots to kill a Marine, and with the large number of AoE that Ultralisks do have, Koss is going to need to mix in some Marauders, and as I say that, 5 Marauder production at a time. He's actually switching over, getting some tech labs on these barracks, and a lot of Marauders is the key to defeating this composition from Zerg once they start to get out the Ultralisk count. But Stephano now mining on the left side base as well, and it looks like Koss wants to push out again. And I mean, Stephano hasn't taken some of the best engagements this game, but he has kept great map vision, and this is one of the things that allows him to at least make up for these. He can get a positional edge during fights. But with as much bio that's being produced by Koss as as he's been making, he's down to only 10 Widow Mines. And a couple of them are still a little bit spread out. Majority of them now back at home. He's going to rally them all together and try to push with these. But keeping the middle Widow Mine count low is very, very important just because they're kind of exponentially more powerful as you get more of them. With the amount of area of effect damage that they do. They do 125 damage to Ultralisks, which is quite significant when you've got about 20 of them versus 10 Ultras. So, +3 flyer attack coming in. Stephano really focusing on these upgrades for his Mutalisks, but it looks like Koss is going to move in. Ooh, he's trying to step forward. He actually can't land his 4th command center. There's so much creep. Stephano has so many creep tumors here. He's going to be getting a long distance mine this. And Stephano doesn't want to take a fight just yet. He wants to make sure he has a nice, comfortable bank. And he's got a great surround set up. He is going to move in now, though. Not too many Banelings mixed in with this. It's just pure Ultralisk. And the Widow Mines are actually going to rip this to shreds. A couple Ultralisks caught on the left, on the right side, but so many Marauders and Marines. These Ultralisks are going to get blown away. Stephano will remax on Ultralisks, but a great engagement for Koss. Look at the units lost tab. He just destroyed that army. He's up 4,000 resources. And Stephano, even with more economy, that's a really, really huge army to lose. And he might actually have to give up a couple of his expansions because of that. I feel like a couple Banelings mixed in there would have worked so much better, especially with how many mines were mixed in. But Koss is pushing towards the 4th base. Stephano doesn't have much here to save this. The Zerglings are going to try to attack, but versus these 3/3 Marines with all of these medevacs healing, he's not going to be able to overwhelm these forces just yet. The mine's kind of working against him in a way, but Koss will be able to kill this left side base off. And Stephano, maintaining a very close amount of supply, still needs to get some better trades in these fights if he wants to have a chance at winning this game. He's going to walk into the Widow Mines. His Ultralisk is going to get taken out. And there's just so much firepower here for our Ukrainian Terran player, and he's going to lift up, boost away. The creep, of course, does take 5 years to recede, so this command center hasn't been able to land yet. If the Mutalisks kill this, so it's actually really significant. He doesn't have any other ones. That's actually his main base command center that he floated over. Have to float the natural next, I guess. But now he is going to move in and try to fight this. I just feel like Stephano, he's moving in not with much AoE. It's just the Ultralisks, and he might barely be able to win this fight, but so many of his Ultras low on health, he will lose all of them once again. And I feel like Stephano is just trading. You know, he's not losing the fights like as terribly as he could be, I guess. He's delaying the economy of Koss. Koss is mined out. He has no income left for the most part. But these trades, he is trading so much of his own resources to stop Koss from getting resources, and these mines also being a huge nuisance. Stephano is mining so much more, though, and if he can get a couple more good engagements, if he can protect his economy, he might be able to secure a really big lead the longer this game continues on. But the mines blowing these Ultralisks to smithereens. Stephano really just running headlong into these Widow Mines is not working out well for him at all. Finally bringing a Queen forward to transfuse some of this, but walking into this without Overseers is really just Stephano throwing away tons of resources. Finally going to be able to land his 4th command center, or I guess just his main command center, at the 4th base. Koss will be looking to get mining again for the first time in a little while, blocking his own CC with the Widow Mine a little bit there. It's like, oh goodness, I should probably move that. But Koss is positioning himself towards top right. He wants to take out the right side base of Stephano. If Stephano loses this, he may lose this game. He's been trading so cost ineffectively, it's not even funny. But now it takes out some of the mines, and now, without full mine support, the Ultralisks will begin to ravage these bioforces on creep. The Marauders are not in a high enough count. He staved off the economy. He traded so much to prevent Koss from mining that he couldn't reproduce that army. GG. Stephano takes game number 1. A very, very close game number 1 in this this best of 3. That felt a lot more close than it needed to be. Stephano, oh my goodness, ran so many units into that, but I almost want to say the creep spread won Stephano the game, because every time Koss was like, well, I'll get a 4th command center now, or I'll move my main base over to the 4th. There was so much creep there. It took him so long to get that 4th command center that even though he had more cost-effective engagements, the fact that Stephano was up 2 whole bases for a period of about 7 minutes in that game just really gave him kind of a snowball effect where he was able to throw all those units away without losing too much. And that's the power of good Overlord spread, and that's the power of a really sick creep spread. So really excited to see what we're going to get in game number 2. Will Koss be able to tie things up, or is Stephano going to 2-0 this Empire Terran? Stay tuned, guys. I'm Nathanias, your caster today for the for the DreamHack Stockholm Open 2013. Don't go anywhere.